My biggest pet peeve is when people have self-doubt for themselves. And so why is because self-doubt is when people just kind of don't think they can do things or don't believe in themselves, or they let other factors from like the outside world or people's opinions stop them from believing they can do it. And so with self-doubt, the first thing is that people aren't them true selves, because let's say a kid wants to go out for a sport or even a club in school, and then people will tell them, oh no, you're not good enough for it, you can't do that, you're not smart enough, you're not big enough. So then they let these words control their self doubt, and it affects them all the way for however long that they let it. And so then when I see that, it just kind of hits a little bit, because I've gone through the whole self doubt thing with sports and then injuries too. So when people say I can't, let's say I can't do this or I can't run that fast, it really triggers something inside of me, because you can do anything you want, but if you let these outside factors and your own mind tell you you can't, then you'll never be able to do it. And so with that, you can't be successful, because how are you supposed to ever achieve something when you're always expecting the worst of it and thinking that you won't be able to do it? And so self doubt in my mind leads to self pity. And so in like today's world, I guess I see too many people who rely on other people's sympathy to make themselves feel better. And so like you'll see it on social media and even in everyday life, people being like, "Oh, it's all right." And like, yeah, a little bit of that is fine, but when you're constantly needing that attention and you're just kind of running off of it at that point, it's too much, and like you just need to figure your stuff out, honestly. And so with self-doubt, I have seen myself go through the whole self-doubt and self-pity stuff when I ended up injuring my knee. I thought after surgery or whatever, and like I couldn't even walk, I was like, how am I ever gonna be able to play sports again? How am I ever gonna be able to run again? How am I ever supposed to achieve the goals of being a state champion, winning another team state title, stuff like that, when I have all this self doubt? So then, through my therapy, not only did I work on the rehab for my knee, but also my own attitude. And so, working on my attitude, I went from having self doubt and wishing people felt sorry for me to completely losing friendships and connections with people because I don't really know the reason what caused it. But I lost 90% of the people that I was close with before. And so I changed my attitude to, all right, I don't need them. I'm going to work hard. I have the few people that believe in me still with me. That's all that matters. And so through that attitude change and that self doubt change, I was able to come back, play the little bit of sports I have, make it to the finals at individual state and team state as well, but just couldn't come up with a win in either one of those. And so I had a little bit of self doubt as well at those championships. I remember before my individual state match, like your head's just going crazy, and so you're bouncing back and forth between this is what I gotta do, this is what might happen. And so that self doubt kind of just puts you in a different place where you want to be before you want to go out and, let's say, do something and perform. So it kind of sucks in that way, but I mean, you just build off of it and learn off of it to keep changing your attitude, staying positive. And so self doubt it can ruin anyone and anything for someone that has it going for themselves. It really breaks down a person, and it's just seeing people who get sucked into that hole and don't try getting themselves out of it is just really just careless for themselves. And it's just like instead of they just want people to feel bad for them, when all they have to do is change their attitude and outlook on life, and they'll be in a way better place. And so that's just it. Everyone needs to start being more positive and working towards getting rid of all their self doubt.